John, having you on, I was trying to think, okay, what can we talk about? And there's one big topic you and I have been going back and forth privately in our private conversations about, which we will get to in a second, but then some big breaking news happened in the world of pro wrestling, specifically sports entertainment and WWE. So in case you missed or you've been living under a rock, it was announced yesterday that WWE is going to be, I see everyone's initially the headlines were shutting down the WWE network. And I think that's a little misleading. I want to say not necessarily shutting down, but just moving it over. That's how I like to say it. Migrating, I think it's a good word. So moving over the WWE network under the NBC Universal / the Peacock app, a streaming service. It's going to be available in there now, I believe starting March 18th officially. So if you want to access the WWE network, you just have to take one extra step and log on to Peacock. That's the NBC Universal app that they have. Like everyone's having like streaming apps now and creating all that stuff. So it's exciting stuff, man. So John, I just want to get your initial reaction, and then we'll kind of go over some of the details that I can remember off memory here. But yeah, just kind of your initial, when you heard the news, what was your initial takeaway?
First, I was a little disappointed because I love my WWE app. You know, I throw it on. I've just been watching Wrestling Challenge from 1986. They dropped a bunch of episodes. I'm just like, I can go right to it. It's there. But now I'm like, what do I have to do extra now? But then I realized it's on Peacock, which I already have Peacock for free.
Mm-hmm.
Our company, you have it too as well. Comcast, Indy, so which is cool. So I'm saving some money there, right? So that on me, that's cool. I'm curious to see how the commercials are going to affect the shows. Is it going to be like, say, if I click on NXT UK, will I just get one commercial before NXT UK plays, or a couple are going to pop up through the middle of the show, you know? Mm-hmm. So all that I'm kind of curious to know about, but I think it's a good move from WWE. I don't think WWE ever does anything. Like, they want to do it if it's a bad move, right? Mm-hmm. They never do that. They've always been like the cutting edge of like extreme, in my opinion. Remember they started this network, we're like, what? Mm-hmm. They're going to put everything on this network, and they're going to all the pay-per-views, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, etc. And they're nuts. They're nuts, but they made it work.
Yeah.
So, and I want to see, and so I think, you know, this 5-year deal, which is for a lot of money. I think people were said billion, right?
$1 billion, yeah.
$1 billion. I mean, they're already making more money than they are on the network now with it, right? With that deal, it's for 5 years. But who's to say they won't extend that? Who's to say that they could use that if it does well for Peacock to where they could, you know, negotiate another streaming service to go over there, you know, because streaming services are looking for content to, you know, to keep, you know, we like one minute you see The Office is on Netflix. We got The Office, all seasons of The Office. Now it's all on Peacock, right?
Yeah.
So it's just so interesting. The streaming games, I guess we should call them the streaming wars or games. I don't know, but yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, the streaming wars, that's probably the best way to describe it, because so think about like what back in the day, it was the battle of the networks, you know, what Fox and NBC, ABC, CBS, you and I, you know, growing up, that was the big thing, all the networks on, you know, basic TV and then cable, and then the cable wars. And so, yeah, now here we are in this whole streaming wars that's going on. So, yeah, as you just touched on, so for everyone that's interested about the details, so it's 5 years, $1 billion, so what, 200 million a year, and yeah, everything will migrate over starting March 18th. So you just log on to Peacock, and I guess they'll have probably like a WWE Network button, or you know, like, you know, Disney Plus, for example, you know, has like Star Wars, Marvel, National Geographic. It'd be just, I would assume, just like that.
I think. Yeah, it's going to be like you see WWE like icon, click it, and you're in the network like you've been before, I think. For the most part. I'm sure it'll look a little different, but it should be pretty similar, I'm sure.
And that's what I'm excited about. So come the details with that. So when you click on it, it'll pop up and it'll have everything that we all love, all the archive stuff, the matches, the pay-per-views, the in-ring shows, you know, NXT UK, 205 Live, all the outside stuff, Raw, SmackDown, NXT replays will be there. The docs, the documentaries that they do, And I believe they're going to bring back like the 24/7 channel aspect of it. So when you log on, there might be just a continuous, like it's a live channel just playing whatever programming they have scheduled. But then, if you don't want to watch what they're just currently showing you, you can just go ahead and skim through the different, options and pick out something you want to watch in real time or whenever you want. So I'm excited for that as well. So yeah, it's let's see. Also with the network, so you think about it, depending on the numbers, I mean, I think it was like and this is all happening just in America only. So I don't know what their plans are for other parts of the world, but here in America, that's what's going to happen with us. And for me, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh man, I don't want to do this." For me, it's just one extra step. It's not that big of a deal. And I know at Peacock they have a free version. But the WWE Network will not be accessible through that. You need the minimum one is the Peacock Premium, which is $4.99, and then they have which has some commercials. The $9.99 version, which will have no commercials or no ads at all. So, and then as you said, for the $4.99 one, if you have a Comcast plan, I already did it. So I logged on to the Peacock app last night. I linked up my Xfinity info and boom, I already have access to it. So I'm like, awesome. I guess technically I will be getting WWE Network free now, as far as at least, I mean, I still pay Xfinity every month. And which is interesting, man. Like, remember like 5 years ago, I think it's about 5 years ago, the whole like cut the cord movement. Everyone's like, get rid of your cable and just go like get Netflix and like one or two other streaming services. But now I feel like there's so many streaming services out there that all adds up. And I think a lot of people are paying just as much as they used to with a cable plan. I never got rid of my cable. And now the great thing about, at least with my Xfinity, a lot of these other streaming services, I log on with my Xfinity info and it automatically gives me a free access to it. So I don't know. It all kind of balances out in the end, I feel like, as far as what you pay month to month. So for me, it lucks out. So I guess for right now, when WWE moves over to Peacock, I can just get the $4.99 version. I will have some ads, and if I want to upgrade to $9.99, that is their option there. And then I could, so be paying the same like what I'm currently paying right now, or I could technically get it for free, but with my Xfinity info. So I'm curious, what you say, how the ads are going to work out, and therefore,
I was curious if, for us specifically for Xfinity, like we got premium, which is the $4.99 version.
Yeah.
We go to Comcast, say, hey, we want the no commercials. Do we pay just $5 more?
Ooh, good point.
Or do we pay $10? But that doesn't make sense. I would think we pay $5 more, right?
Yeah.
Something to call up the Xfinity people. I'll do that for the show.
Thank you. Please research.
I'll do the heavy lifting here.
Thank you.
And
sit on hold for like an hour waiting for them.
I'm working from home, so I can do this. So
there you go. Well, I'm like you said, I'm excited. I think for me, like I said, I'm excited. Like I'll get this for free now, and I'll save like theoretically $10 a month now. And with that being said, with the network, I'm curious how they're going to migrate everyone over. Is it like one day on March 18th, the network will just disappear and like all your info's brought over there? So the whole transition of this is going to be really interesting. So as far as the logistics go, so in America, I think I've heard different numbers. WWE Network averages like 1.1 to like 1.3 million subscribers. I've heard that number kind of vary a little bit. So let's see. I was trying to do some math on trying to see the money side of it all. So let's do 1.3 million times $10. So it's about 13 million a month, and then times 12, 156 million. So theoretically, if they're getting paid 200 million a year from Peacock, dude, like it makes sense. They're making so much extra money just for having someone else kind of host the network and run it for them. So financially, that's a great situation for them. And so, but then again, you got to take into account, okay, the $4.99 aspects. I wonder how much this is all guaranteed money that they're going to get. So from a business standpoint, amazing smart move for Vince McMahon. Once again, Vince McMahon proves he's like the ultimate business guy here.
They're like I said, they're on the cutting edge of streaming. They're usually ahead of the game. And when it comes to deals like this, Vince really doesn't make bad deals, or WWE doesn't make bad deals like this. So I'm sure they looked at everything and they I'm sure Peacock on its own, like, because if you did you watch Peacock Network before this or just didn't
No,
really?
I downloaded it, but I never really accessed it.
Like we have, I'm always like, I like old classic shows. They have some, like, everybody love Raymond. I know, like, a lot of people.
Yeah.
I like classic kind of sitcom family situation stuff. It's a quick, easy watch. They had some other cool shows I checked out. There's an Australian comedy called 5 Bedrooms I got really into. Like,
nice.
Gave it a shot one day and I'm just dying laughing. And then there was this sci-fi show that only lasted like a year, but the one season, Brave New World, was really good, I thought. And so I watched that with Alden Ehrenreich, who was Han Solo in Solo. So I checked it out because he was in that. I really like that guy.
Okay, right on.
Great actor. So it was good. So I already got the feel of what Peacock has. So, to me, this is cool. And I think Peacock started throwing WWE content on there. They started throwing some of the old 24/7s, and they started showing old WrestleManias and old big shows matches. Most of the documentary stuff I think they mostly had on there. I didn't watch them. I've seen them all, or most of them. So I'm pretty sure on their end, they probably saw how much people were interested on those, clicking on those. So maybe they're like, hey, let's capitalize on this WWE stuff. It's doing well for our network. So,
and that's the thing also, I think people should keep in mind is, so Peacock launched, I think, last summer, and I think they're up to like 26 million subscribers, which is a good number, but like I think Disney Plus has like 100 million something subscribers. Netflix has like a couple 200 something million subscribers. So, it's still like a big difference, but at least they're making strides to, catch up. And in order to get subscribers, you need content. And WWE, they make content all throughout the year with the pay-per-views, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. So it's a big deal. And obviously they had their relationship because, so I believe, NBC Universal, is it NBC Universal owns Comcast, or Comcast owns NBC Universal? I get kind of confused on like who's like which company owns what.
NBC under umbrellas like USA Network and all that stuff, which is the Peacock. So it's all kind of, the relationship's already there.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I was getting at, was like, okay, Raw and NXT are on USA Network, which is under or owned by NBC, which therefore owns Peacock. So they're like, okay, we pay for this TV deal for them. Like, let's have this on Peacock as well. So it makes sense. And I think for WWE, okay, you have like 1.3 million network subscribers in America. Peacock says 26 million. So theoretically, that number, hopefully when they start logging in their Peacock accounts, come March, maybe they'll see the new like WWE button and they'll want to start watching it again. Maybe there were some casual fans from back in the day who just tuned out, but then maybe they'll start seeing it. So then they'll kind of like, oh, hey, I remember WWE. I was a big Stone Cold fan back in the day or something. They want to start watching it again. So maybe that's also for WWE. Maybe they can kind of get some new fans that way through this streaming service. So I think it's all mostly positive. And I know, I think also with this 5-year deal, they're going to like do like one big documentary a year, which I believe kind of like a last ride type of thing. So I'm kind of curious what other, who could be like the next big documentary that they'll focus on. I mean, I think Stone Cold was rumored to be getting something. But I don't know if that was
Vince is getting one on Netflix though, right?
Yeah, that was on Netflix. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. But
Hogan be a good one.
I mean, God.
Hogan's life now, all his trials and tribulations that he went through with the scandal, from the highs of his career to the scandal to the stuff with his family and everything. They can
And I know they have like the Icons show coming out on the network, which I'm looking forward to as well. But then I think like this is separate. Like some people are doing like something with A&E. I don't know if you saw something about that, like WWE and A&E.
They got their iron. They got their irons and all these different kind of fires, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they do. I mean, just look like this. Just today, they aired the Superstar Spectacular for India because they got the India going, and. That's bringing money, and obviously, India plays good money. I mean, shoot, I think Impact survives on the India money for a long time. That's keeping afloat from just the money from India. So, Yeah, man, this WWE, the machine just keeps rolling.
My only concern is, okay, now that like NBC technically is going to be running or overseeing the WWE network, I wonder if there's any content on there on the network currently that they might want to take off or censor in some way. You know what I mean? Like, that's my only concern. Would they be like, that one old match, it's kind of violent. Maybe we don't want that on there anymore.
Well, they have movies on there, violent movies on there, not just network television stuff. They have a movie section which has rated R movies, horror movies. So I mean, I hope they don't really get upset with blood and some
ECW.
I don't think they know what that is.
It's a little secret. Keep it just for us to search out. So that was my one thing. I know, like, think about it, like all the 24 docs that they make and some of these other network specials. I know, like WWE, they were making all those things as to create extra content and give us, fans a reason to keep subscribing every month. So I wonder, now that they have like this big payday, I wonder, would they slow down making those on the regular? I hope not. I really enjoy all those. Like, I enjoyed Drew McIntyre's documentary on it.
I think that helps with the character profiles of guys and people to get kind of more invested into the wrestlers and the characters. I'm pretty sure 205 Live's gonna stick around now. Like that. I'm glad that on the presser they listed NXT UK.
Yeah,
so that's not going anywhere. I always kind of wonder, but I mean, what are they going to do? They had this whole PC up there and everything, but I was always a little, because the way the world is right now, you just never know, But I'm glad they're committed to NXT UK because it's a good product.
And I don't know, have you been keeping track of the NBC Sports Network situation that's been going on?
Yes, with the sports possibly movies to USA Network, which could bump NXT off Wednesdays, which cut out our fun of NXT versus AEW, which to me, there's just two shows happening the same night, and it's not like Nitro and Raw, like where there's really like monster ratings from each and it's really highly competitive. It's just they're talking 700, 800,000 viewers compared to 50 to 700,000 viewers.
Yeah, exactly. So for anyone who didn't hear, like so honestly, when that, I think, news broke last Friday, I ran down to my sister station, KBR, and I was like talking to some of my coworkers, like, hey, you guys see this? And honestly, I saw Dave Meltzer's like tweet about or responding to it. And so I went for like one of the older tweets that had maybe like one of the original announcements. And I went to show my coworkers, and none of them heard the news yet. And usually, like breaking news in sports world, my coworkers know all about it in advance. I'm like, I would think this is kind of a big deal. Like, NBC Sports Network is shutting down by the end of the year, and it looks like all the sporting events that they do show there, going to move over to the USA Network. So like NASCAR and the NHL. And I know with the NHL, that takes place mostly on Wednesday nights, I believe. And so therefore the question is, what happens to NXT UK? So as you just said,
NXT.
Or did I say NXT? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, NXT. Yeah. Sorry. You got me thinking about NXT UK still. So,
but I know it's that would kind of suck. I mean, I kind of like it on USA, and that's been fun. Wednesday night's been fun. I mean,
I know
it's fun to I'm a nut. I have to watch like 4 hours of wrestling that night because
I know
Thursday night. So maybe it's best for me to have it on separate nights. I don't know.
Yeah. So like, it'd be interesting. Yeah, if once things move, I mean, this all would probably take place later in the year. I know NXT's contract with USA is up this October. NBC Sports Network shuts down in the year, so all of it kind of lines up pretty nicely for all these different shifts might be going on. So. Yeah, if like NHL takes Wednesday nights on USA Network, does NXT move to Tuesday or Thursday, or just be available exclusively just back on the network again through Peacock, and that'll kind of reinforce people getting Peacock. So I'm with you. Like, I do like it on the USA Network. I think it really solidifies NXT UK as a strong third brand that it's on cable network, but. I mean, I'm going to tune in no matter where it's on. I mean, that for me, like you and I, we're hooked already, so it doesn't really matter. But I think, I mean, I kind of like when it was on Tuesdays. It was kind of cool. Like had its dedicated time, and it was like getting master or big ratings for them. So I don't know. I mean, the powers that be will decide the future of NXT.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the NXT ratings have been gangbusters, either. So was it something they're like, hey, I think what they pay like 50 million for that show.
I think it was 30 million. Yeah, 30 million.
Oh, well, shoot.
Damn it. Get the lotto.
Pocket change to us, right? But still, they're paying 30 million. So is that like, but for them, is that cheap to have a show that does that ratings? Is it still good? Yeah, I don't know. That's for the real TV experts to kind of dig through. But but I hope it doesn't go anywhere. I hope it stays on USA. I like the third brand on. I like NXT being on the US Network and USA Network. So hopeful.
No, and like I said, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you and I, it's not going to be that big of a difference. I know, like I said, some of my coworkers were pissed off, like, oh, I don't want to deal all this. I'm like, it's just one extra step. Like, you got to log on to Peacock, and like I said, you and I, we already got Peacock, the premium free with Comcast. So if I have no problem sitting through a couple commercials here and there. So I mean, if I can get that free, save my $10 a month, awesome. I'll put it towards something else, maybe like some more action figures or something like that.
Again, though, I'm telling you, every time I click on the W Network and every time I click on a show, I get that same Royal Rumble commercial. Like every time I click, and then like for some reason I had to rewind something, and I logged me completely out of the show I was watching, so I had to re-click on it. And I thought I was gonna start right where I clicked off. No, it took me to the beginning, and I got that Royal Rumble commercial again. I'm like, yeah, I know it's coming up. You don't need to show me. Give me a Total Divas commercial. I don't care. I'm begging you, Ms. and Mrs. Just give me any other commercial. I don't care. Just give me Vince McMahon saying hi to me. Just give me anything, dude. I don't care. Like just the same Royal Rumble commercials over and over. They just last month with the TLC pay-per-views. Like, jeez, face this commercial one time, my head's gonna explode.
It's interesting that, like, also, I mean, I think for some people they're trying to think of it as, okay, well, I can still pay $9.99 a month, like I'm always doing, and I still get WWE Network, but now I get access to the whole NBC archive of, like you said, The Office and Saturday Night Live and all those other great things. So
there's some good shows on there. I mean, you get some extra content, some extra access to movies you haven't probably seen. It's just whatever. It's good to have that. Then again, we have way too many options, right? Like, I don't know if you ever do this. Like, go on. Yeah, I'm gonna go see if I'm gonna watch them on Netflix. I'm scanning for like an hour. Then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna watch YouTube. It's just like,
dude, I think I watch more on YouTube.
Wrestling, like, oh god, La Rocca, just watch some movies,
Oh my god, like you're right. Like, I think I spend more time watching stuff on YouTube than like Netflix and stuff. Like, I was trying to show my dad how to use Netflix, and like there's so much to watch here. And he's like, "What do you want to watch?" He's like, "I don't know."
Yeah. Bing, bing.
I mean, at least like Disney Plus, watching The Mandalorian. I've been watching WandaVision, so like I have some like specific things to watch. I got like Amazon Prime when I was buying all my computer stuff, and I wanted the faster delivery. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I have access to the movies. So I watched like the Borat movie, the new one. And then I was like, okay, what else can I watch? I was like, I've been meaning to watch The Boys, but I need to sit down and do that. And then I was like, I'll watch it, but then I'll probably cancel my Amazon Prime because like I don't use Amazon a lot for like buying stuff. So I was like, well, let me watch this TV show.
Sucker. My wife, I got more packages coming to my door. And I was like, hey, another one. But the Amazon Prime's cool for me. I dig it because they also have some really funky wrestling on there, like some classic stuff. You look for wrestling.
Okay.
You get like old USWA stuff. Steve Austin is younger.
Really?
And then, I mean, good, but also just random, right? But also for me, like, I like older movies from like the 80s. It's like just or old horror or sci-fi.
Yeah.
Italian sci-fi is like totally out there B movie crap, right? So like they have a lot of that stuff for me on Amazon Prime. So I if I'm looking for something retro, I just kind of jump on there.
Yeah, and I know we've been spending a lot of time on this. So just one last thing is, did you hear kind of like a little bit the fallout now with WWE and ESPN because of all this? Like, so last year I remember there was rumors that WWE wanted to start, or Vince at least wanted to start like outsourcing or licensing different, major pay-per-views, like the big four pay-per-views, to other streaming platforms, and you pay us, a fee for that. And I know like a couple of two big executives that he had working for him, he let them go because they just want to focus on the network while Vince wanted to expand. And the rumor was like maybe ESPN Plus, like WrestleMania will be available on ESPN Plus. Didn't work out at the time, obviously with the pandemic and stuff. But now here we are with this Peacock deal. It looks that's what Vince wanted. He wanted someone else to pay him for his content, and he's getting that. But now ESPN is pissed off, and now I guess apparently the rumor is like no more WWE content, or it's banned.
Oh no, shucks. Like I don't think ESPN is ESPN of like I know it's still a big network, but nothing to where it's like I think it's gonna really hurt WWE as much. So I think they're fine. $100 billion for 5 years. Fox deal still going for a couple more years. India, they got so much going on. I'm sure they're they could pay us, and they wouldn't even know. Like we'd be like Office Space, the guy from Office Space. We still pay that guy, that'll be us.
Red Stapler,
we get lockers, getting checks just because they can afford it. And they wouldn't care. They wouldn't.
Exactly. Well, and then so it makes you wonder, like, what's SmackDown's fate? I know, like, 4 more years left on the deal with Fox, but could they eventually?
Well with Fox though, they're not there. There's an over 2 million rating, for the most part. I mean, they've had some, but it's so awesome. Before the pandemic, they were really doing really great on there, and they saw the potential when after that Dallas game, right? The rating they had after that football game. So I think it's a good fit. Friday nights, which is usually like a harder day to draw, a rating. So yeah, I think it's a good marriage. I think they'll want to continue that.
And also, I'm wondering, okay, SmackDown's fate in the near future, keep track of. But I wonder if, like, NBC, could they eventually just try to buy WWE from Vince McMahon? I personally don't think Vince will ever give it up. But
when he passes away, you never know, right?
Yeah. So who knows? I mean, in 5 years,
Disney could be one.
Yeah. I mean, so a lot of stuff. I mean, this is all just us, you and I, fantasy talking about down the road, but just stuff to kind of keep your eye on and see how other new deals could happen in the near future. So anyway, it's the streaming world that we live in now, and TV consumption, and it's really fascinating to me. When I saw the news breaking, I was like, wow, this is just so interesting to me. Just I'll do it all. I'll consume it all. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. So we'll see. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.